what is the greatest concern that they have about their legal problem? And again, this is going to vary from folks to folks. One of the best examples that I usually think of deals with personal injury attorneys. How many people are personal injury attorneys or handle personal injury cases? You know very well that your clients come to you for all different sorts of reasons. I have a friend who was in a car accident, had his daughter in the car, so it was a very upsetting thing for that to have happened. The at-fault driver, when the officer came up, started telling this huge fabrication about why things happened. Now, this individual, when he was concerned about his case, he wasn't necessarily all that interested in the money and all those kinds of things, but he was very upset about the fact this person was trying to blame him for something that was simply not true. You may have somebody who, in a similar circumstance, is more concerned about the potential for future medical expenses, things like that. So, this is getting to the why for these folks. All right, so the one that we were just talking about, that person wanted validation of their issues. When asked, what is it these folks are hoping for in life? And again, these are the things that are going to help us define who that avatar client is for us. Okay. And again, going back to personal injury, if and our personal injury attorneys can probably testify to this, most folks that have these personal injury claims aren't concerned really about the money. They want to get better. I've never, not that I know every personal injury person that's ever gone through that process, but I don't know one who wouldn't trade all the money for having all of their health back. I don't know of any. So, those things are going to influence the message that we have. So what's the real motivation in their case? So going back again, they're trying to, in the one case, be validated about what happened, or to prove that they're the one telling the truth. All kinds of things that can be in there. Moving on with that, why would a client not contact you? This is something that if you can work the answer to this into your marketing, you're going to see it increase tenfold, and that is trying to answer the objection that they have about why they're not going to call, and those can range for any number of things, almost all of which are fear-based. It's almost always because they're afraid of something. So my favorite example are tort reformers, right? Again, going back to our personal injury folks, ask them how many times they've gotten calls from people who have been in life-changing accidents, but are afraid of calling a personal injury lawyer because they don't want to be one of those people, right? Because now all of a sudden, what was academic in their mind is now a real thing for them. So they're concerned about being viewed as being those people at this point. So, there are a couple of other questions, and they're not in your notes, so I'll just go through them very, very quickly. But what is it that your ideal client needs help with? What again, that goes back to what is the problem. When taking that a step further, what is the key problem that you can solve for that client? What is the, and this is an important thing, what is the key transformation that your client will experience having worked with you? Obviously, when we're putting our marketing together, we need to be very careful about some of this stuff because the rules of professional conduct do speak to some of the issues, so we do need to make sure that we're always keeping those in mind and not doing something that might be perceived as guaranteeing a result, those sorts of things. But we can still look to these things and work this stuff into our marketing, and when we do, that's going to increase their effectiveness. Another thing, who's at fault for this problem that they have? One of the reasons why at election time we see all these negative campaign ads is because they're effective, and the reason why they're effective is because people love the enemy in common, right? We all, for estate planning folks, it could be the IRS or the government trying to take your hard-earned money rather than leaving it to your kids. Personal injury folks, that it's that at-fault driver who was texting instead of driving. All those kinds of things.